If your lawn struggles during the summer, don't beat yourself up. Summer watering is one of the hardest things to get right with lawn care. On today's episode of Tommy's Turf Talks, we're going over the 5 most common watering mistakes I see every year, and most importantly, how to avoid them so your lawn has the best chance to survive that summer heat. This is because sometimes it's not about watering more, it's about watering smarter. Welcome back to Tommy's Turf Talks. Real lawn care, real life, real results. I've spent years in the lawn and landscape industry, and every year I see the same water mistakes over and over again. But the good news is these are easy to avoid as long as you know what to look for. The first mistake, absolutely frying lawns in the summer, is shallow watering. When you water for 5 or 10 minutes every day, the water never gets deep into the soil. That means that your roots stay tiny and weak. That's because they never have to search for water. What you actually want is deep and infrequent waterings. This will force your roots down deep into the soil. Most lawns need 1 to 1.5 inches of moisture every single week, including rainfall, to thrive. So, how do you determine how much water your lawn is actually getting? Well, you could go out and get yourself a bunch of rain gauges or a bunch of measuring cups, or you could simply just use one of these. Now, I prefer to use tuna cans, but I did not have any of those laying around, so we do have a bunch of dog food cans, and these will work just fine. Place a few cans out in your lawn, wet and dry areas. Then turn on your sprinkler or irrigation and run it for about 15 minutes. Then measure how much water is in your can. You should be shooting for about 1/2 inch per watering session. So if you collected 1/4 inch in 15 minutes, then you know you need to run your sprinkler for 30 minutes to achieve the proper watering. Then just water for that amount about 2 to 3 times per week, depending on rainfall. The second mistake that I see all the time is people either watering in the middle of the day or very late into the evening. When it's 90 degrees outside and the sun is blasting your lawn, a huge amount of that water evaporates before it even reaches the roots. The best time to water is early morning, ideally between about 3 a.m. and 9 a.m. During those morning hours, you're going to have a lot less evaporation. So a lot more of that water is going to be used more efficiently and get down into the root zone where it needs to be. And also, it will give your grass time to dry out during the day, which will help you avoid a lot of disease issues that can be caused by your grass blades staying wet for long periods of time. And that last part really is important. There is a lot of disease stress that comes into the grass during the summer months. And if you can make sure that you're watering in the morning and not at night, you will greatly increase the chances that your grass will be able to stave off any kind of fungal or disease issues as the summer months go on. If you have a lot of questions on diseases, don't worry. I've got a disease episode coming up later on in the summer where I'll go more in depth on possible disease issues that might pop up on your summer lawns. So if you're watering every night at 10 o'clock because that's just what works with your schedule, or it seems like the best time to water, trust me, you're just growing a science experiment out there on your lawn. Third mistake that I see every year is watering every single day, no matter what. When you constantly keep the soil soaked, the roots stop breathing properly. Disease pressure increases and your lawn becomes extremely dependent on constant watering. And a little stress to your grass during these hot periods is actually a good thing. It encourages your grass to root deeply, trying to find that moisture wherever it may lie. And deep roots is really what watering is all about. You want to focus those roots as deep as they possibly can go, because not only will your grass be able to withstand drought periods much better, but also stronger root systems just mean that the grass plant is much more resilient and can withstand any kind of disease pressure or other stressors that might pop up throughout the year. Some ways that you can tell if your lawn actually needs to be watered is that it will start to develop this bluish gray tint to it. You may also notice that your footprints stay visible long after you have walked through the turf, and of course, the grass blades may start to fold and wilt. But if none of this is going on and your grass still looks healthy, then please stop panic watering every single day. Your grass is fine. Just because it's hot out doesn't mean that it needs more water. The fourth mistake that I see every year is poor sprinkler coverage. This is one of the biggest problems out there for both in-ground sprinkler systems and portable sprinklers. You may notice dry corners on the property where the sprinkler is not reaching that area of turf. Or maybe you have the opposite problem, where you're dealing with overspray onto sidewalks, driveways, or streets. This is a hard problem to avoid when you're trying to make sure that you're hitting the edges, but also not wasting water onto the streets and driveway. But it definitely can be done. You may also notice that some areas are getting flooded, while some are just bone dry. If you have an in-ground sprinkler system, make sure that your heads have the correct nozzle installed and that the arcs are set correctly, making sure that each water stream from each sprinkler head hits the next head, and that you're not watering over your hardscape areas. One easy way to test to see if you're getting good uniform coverage in one area of your lawn is through either a screwdriver test, or if you're lucky enough to have a soil probe, that will also work. Push the screwdriver or the probe into the soil after watering. If one of the areas feels soft and moist and the other feels hard and dry, then you probably have a coverage problem. And to fix that, it's really easy. Just make sure that you're testing your sprinkler whenever you're running it to make sure that all the areas of your lawn are getting the same amount of coverage by using that can test. And if you have an in-ground sprinkler system, then either hire a professional or go out there and make sure that you're nozzled correctly and that your arcs are set properly. To find that information on the in-ground sprinkler heads, I would simply go to the manufacturer's website, and there you can find all the information you need on the sprinkler system that you may have installed on your lawn. Quick side note, some of you ask really great, awesome troubleshooting questions down in the comment section. But to be honest, a lot of these are a little bit difficult to answer in just a short comment reply. So I've decided to open up Tommy's Turf Talk memberships. I'll be doing monthly members-only lawn review and diagnosis videos where we will be troubleshooting real homeowner lawn issues and go deeper into solving these problems. If you would like some bonus lawn care content, some troubleshooting help, or a little extra turf talk and resources, then the join button is down below. No pressure at all. I just wanted to let you guys know. The next one is huge. A lot of cool season grasses will slow down during the hot, dry periods of the summer, or they may go completely dormant. This does not mean that your lawn is dying. And what most people do is they panic. They start watering for long periods of time every single day, trying to force that lush green color in the middle of the summer when it's 95 degrees out. Your cool season grasses are made to go dormant during the summer. So if you start panicking and overwatering, you're going to open your grass plant up to a lot more disease and fungal problems and force those roots really shallow. This will definitely start to stress out your grass. Sometimes survival is really the goal of summer lawn care. But by all means, if you were looking to have a lawn looking like a golf course and feel like you're walking on Augusta National every time you go outside, then go out there and water your lawn. Just remember though, that water bill might get a little bit scarier than a little bit of brown grass might be. Now, a pro tip that might help you out this summer, you've probably heard me mention them before. I am a big fan of using Humectants to help you relieve the stress of watering your grass all the time. How a humectant works is that it either will hold moisture down in the root zone where it needs to be, or it will pull moisture out of the atmosphere and put it down into the soil so the grass can use it. Or there are products that will do both of these things at the exact same time. One product that will do both that I have used in the past is Let's Go Moisture Manager. This is a great product. It comes in both a dry formulation and a liquid. The dry formulation will be easy to apply if you have a spreader, And the liquid will get you a lot bigger bang for your buck, but a higher upfront cost. All you got to do is just read the label and make sure you're applying it according to the language on that label. And one application of these products should get you through the majority of the hot periods of the summer. Now, if you don't want to go out there and find Let's Go Moisture Manager, there are a ton of different options out there. Make sure that you're reading the label and understanding what you're actually buying. I would try to get a puller and a holder to give you the biggest bang for your buck and the best results possible. These products could potentially cut your watering needs in half. So if you want to save money on that watering bill and maintain a nice green lawn all summer long, then using a Humectant may be the product for you. I will post a couple more pro tips on summer watering in the members only section on my page. So if you guys want to start to support this channel, love what I'm doing, then you can find those other pro tips in that members only section. Don't worry, I'm not trying to sell out. I just want to be able to show a little something for all the time I put into this, so maybe my wife won't be that upset with me when I spend hours every week making these videos. So if your lawn struggles every summer, chances are one of these watering mistakes is the reason why. If this video helped you avoid one of these mistakes, please let me know. Hit that like button so that YouTube can share this video with a lot more homeowners, and maybe it can help them deal with these watering issues as well. If you were looking for more lawn care tips, this is Tommy's Turf Talks. I'm pulling for you.